Welcome everybody to Magnaman Cooking. This is a supplemental channel to my main channel where I do magna fishing. Today what we're going to be making is a recipe called Goulya. That was my grandmother who originally taught me this recipe called it. Now you'll need a blender, you'll need 3 or 4 potatoes. I've already peeled them and I've got them sitting in water so that they don't get brown. You'll need a bowl to mix everything in. You'll need some butter. You'll need a pound of ground beef. You'll need an onion. Now normally I will use regular clove garlic powder, garlic salt, or if you have it, or you could use minced garlic. Now you just put the garlic into your taste. If you like a lot of garlicky taste in your foods, then use a lot of garlic. If not, then just use a little bit. But you just want a little bit of garlicky flavor minimum. You'll need some salt, pepper. You'll need some waxed paper. And you will need flour. Now the first step we got to do is take the cap off our blender. Get our cutting board, and you'll want to dice your potatoes in small pieces and put them in your blender, and you'll want to puree them. There, we got our 3 potatoes in there. See about how much we got? Now what you want to do is you want to stick these into your mixing bowl. You want to add your ground beef, oink, throw that into the trash can. You want to add your garlic powder, garlic salt, minced garlic into this right now. Now if you're using whole garlic, garlic cloves, you'll want to stick them in during the puree phase for the potatoes so it gets pureed as well. You want to stick in some salt and pepper. Now I like a lot of pepper. And a lot of salt. There. And that's what you got. Now you heard me mention flour before. What you're trying to do is make meatballs out of these. So you'll want them the consistency of a meatball. So start mixing this together and add flour as needed so that you can form these into balls. Now this is really messy, so what I also like to do is have on hand a spoon to clean off my hands as I'm mixing, because you want all this meaty goodness in your bowl, not on your hand. So periodically you'll see me doing this, cleaning off my fingers. And you don't have to be thorough. You just don't want a huge buildup of this stuff on your hand. We're going to add just a little bit more flour. There. Okay, and that looks about right. And you'll want it to look about like that. Brush off all the excess. Back. And that's I'm getting ready to make dinner, so as you can see, I cleaned off some of the stuff on my counter. I got a little bit different arrangement here. Still got a cutting board down here. Now, we're going to take our onion, we're going to make slices. Onion slices like you would for a hamburger. But we're going to make thin slices, not medium or thick, but thin slices. Slicing the thing. Just for speed and accuracy in the slices. There, we got a bunch of onion slices. Now what we're going to do with these is we're going to take a pan like this. We're going to throw them, just plop them into a pan with a whole bunch of butter. Now if you want measurements on this, if you use stick butter, I normally use 2 to 4 sticks of butter. But since I don't have any stick butter, I'm going to put most of this butter here into the pan. Like I said, I normally use stick butter, but I don't have any stick butter. And we're going to take this and we're going to put it on the old stove and put it on medium heat. And we're just going to leave it there. If we want to, we can add more as we see what we're doing. Now the reason we had the wax paper out is we're going to lay it out here. And the meatballs that we make, the little Goulya balls that we make, we're going to put on here so it's easier to get them off. Now over on the stove, I've already filled my stock pot full of water. Is once that water starts boiling, we're just going to plop these balls into it and they'll sink to the bottom. I'll be straight up, they'll sink to the bottom, so until it starts boiling again, you'll have to use a long spoon to stir it around so they don't stick to the bottom. But once it starts boiling, you won't have to worry about that. And we're just making little balls like we're happy ball makers. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 14, 15. We're going to get probably 16 balls per row. See how many rows we can make.
Okay guys, as you can see the water's boiling over here, so I'm going to start dropping my balls in here. Be careful when you're doing this because it's really easy to get burned.
And there's the last of the balls. Now when you're taking this off of your wax paper, I'll show you this. Longer than this. That's what I'll be using. You just gotta be careful. Just give it a little stir up. And you'll have to do that about 2 or 3 times before the water starts boiling again and takes over for you. Now over here, we've got our onions and our butter melting and simmering, and as I said, you'll want this to simmer until the onions are brown. Okay guys, I'm back, and as you can see the water's starting to boil. I'll run the spoon across the bottom one last time to free any that's stuck down there. But you'll see they're just running around inside there, circulating. When they stay up floating is when they're done. Now there's several ways to get those out of there. One is to pour them straight into a strainer and risk getting burned from the steam afterwards. The way I prefer is I've got 2 of these small strainers with handles on them. This one I'll save because that's what I'll use for the onions, to strain the onions out. But whenever these are ready, I'll just scoop them out of here like that at the water drain, and I'll put them straight into the bowl. Here. But they're not ready yet. The onions are still boiling. We're doing good. I'd say probably another 5 minutes and dinner will be ready. Okay guys, it looks like they're about ready to come out. So I'm just going to skim over the top, pull them out, and drain, and put them straight into this bowl. And yeah, doing it this way with this kind of strainer, you will still get a little bit of water in the bottom, but that's not a problem. only skimming the top because that's where the ones that are done are at. There's still some down in there deeper. They're still cooking. And yeah, these are all the bigger ones. Smaller ones came out first. Oh, there's one more in there. Where's he at? We'll get him out. There he is. I said we'll get him out after I'm done stirring up the water. Okay, our onions are done. So we shut that off. We shut our boiling water off. Now what we're going to do is we're going to get this other strainer, and we're just going to drizzle this over top of all of the Goulya, catching the onions in the process so they don't end up inside there. There. Easy peasy. I'm going to put 5 in there. We're going to get our big serving spoon, and we're going to drizzle them with more of that butter sauce. And as we cut them, it'll roll around in the butter sauce.